My funny. Hello, Omar.
Move back, not for you. Okay. Okay, we're gonna read a story. Balder Dash. Move back. Not for you. Balder Dash. This book's for you. Every picture, every page, every word, and even its letters are designed for your pleasure. Lucky, lucky reader, be glad it's not 1726. In those days of powdered wigs and petticoats, England was brimming with books. Books of pirates and monsters and miniature people, tales of travelers and guests and shipwrecks and crimes. At the fair, in the market stalls, in the bookshop windows were hundreds of books. There were books everywhere, and everybody wanted to have one. Eunice, would you like to have a book too? That means you will listen to this story, right? There will be no talking. There will be no talking during the story, right? There will be no talking during the story, right? Will there be any talking during the story? Will there be any talking during the story? You didn't answer my question. You didn't answer my question. Will there be any talking during the story? Yes or no?
Yes.
Well, then I cannot give the rock back to you. The answer should be no. Will there be any talking during the story? Yes or no?
Yes.
You're supposed to say no if you will not be talking. Will you be talking? Yes or no?
Yes.
Then you're going to have to go over there and I'm going to keep the rock. Do you want me to keep the rock?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Listen, pay attention to the story. Oh no! Children had to read pretty poems and fables, religious texts that made them fear the death was near, and manuals that told them they were too sad. They were manuals told them how to sit, not to laugh, and scores of other rules. Oh my goodness, these books were to them they were harming the children. That's what people thought. That the books way back in those times were harming the children. But Allah knows best. Because the future champions of children's books was just a lad. This guy right here decided he's going to make a change to these storybooks once and for all. London. Then he went big time and he moved to where?
London.
Where is London? Where is London, Omar?
It is.
Move back.
It is a city. Sophia.
A city where?
And England.
In England. And where is the country of England? You have to only use your words.
Europe.
It's in the country of Europe. Very good. See? It's easier answering the question of getting up to show me because I waste a lot of time. All right. Have you ever, or any one of you ever been to London? Yeah.
My grandma from London came to America.
Yeah. She came to, I remember you told me she came to visit you one time. And did she tell you all about London?
Yeah, because my grandma didn't know how to come here. So that's why my dad goes. So my mom said I can't go.
Okay, maybe when you're older.
Yeah.
Anywho, smack dab in the heart of the book marketplace in St. Paul's churchyard, he found a place for a store. Brilliant. Brilliant. The streets were bustling with tradesmen, doctors, lawyers, clerks, and many other eager readers. Everyone was there who wanted to have a chance to have anything to do with reading a book, writing a book, anything like that. They were all there. John wanted to publish fine books for the whole lot of them and for their children. He knew the youngsters were hungry for stories. Many boys and girls handed coppers to street hawkers for
Many
ugly
boys.
chapbooks of
Many
fairy
boys
tales,
and girls.
or for
Mine
chop
had
of
it
versions
chopped.
of grown-up books.
Okay.
That's not what they wanted. No. John liked children. Why shouldn't they have delightful books for their own to read? Why shouldn't they have those type of books? Why should they have books about scary stories and books about things that'll make them feel sad? So he decided he's going to change that, okay? He's going to make and write books about things that'll make kids happy. And, not just only kids, but for adults as well. Yes. Now, John, what were you thinking? What about the parents? Many moms and dads worried. They were worried that if their little nippers read fun books, they'd turn wild as beasts. Oh my gosh. So people were thinking, no, you are not going to come here and write books about happy days and bunny rabbits hopping around. No. We don't want those type of books here. We want books about things that are going to make the kids serious about life. Things that's going to fear them. Things that are going to cause some kind of understanding in their mind about life. We don't want no happy story books. Get away with those books. But he didn't think that way. No. Balderdash. Reading should be a treat for children. That's what a famous publisher wrote, and John agreed. So did two other publishers. One issued a book with alphabet rhymes and well-known stories, and the other printed itty-bitty books about animal, plants, and local buildings. That sounds like a good book that anyone would love to read. I don't know if you guys know this, but those storybooks, the fairy tale books and the books about the Aesop for children, books like those were written in those times. So that's why some of the stories in there are kind of like a little bit questionable stories going on in there. But they had a very good message. They had a very good message after the stories, and sometimes some of them, even though they had like a little questionable issue here and there in it, it had a very good message. Yes?
My grandfather from England, that fan goes, they go there. And then Mr. Phil, they had a golden button. Each tree had one.
They have a golden button. Are you talking about a book with a golden button? Okay. Now, do you guys remember those old nursery rhymes as well about the Muffin Man, and there was a man who walked a crooked mile. He found a crooked. Remember those nursery rhymes? Those were all nursery rhymes that had a very interesting message. Okay? Even the one about Mary had a little lamb. All of them had something very important. I'm not going to tell you guys the meaning behind them. If you want to know, you can ask your parents. I don't want you to go, oh, Mr. Peter. No. So if you want to know the meaning behind some of these nursery rhymes, it's best to ask your parents. Don't ask me. You guys already know about the Muffin Man. You know about
The message of the Muffin Man is not to go to
yeah, and that's exactly. They had a very good message behind them, but there's a whole storyline about it. Everything about it was kind of like questionable for kids to read. So,
especially the Cricket Man.
John wanted his friend's book or his first book for children to be irresistible. Okay, there'd be letters from Jack the Giant Killer, and he just wanted to be a little different, you know. There'd be pictures of Pitch and Hustle, Hook and Hide, Blind Man's Bluff, and other children games. The ABC's proverbs and other classic materials for extra punch, a message to moms and dads.
Look at how he's doing the scene.
Yeah. So he had a message for everyone in his story. Okay, and that's very important to all of us who are reading these books today. Moving on, you may move into your spot. He ordered gilt floor paper for the covers and titled his creation "A Little Pretty Pocket Book." Silence is what he said. Price of a book or a book alone, 6 pence with a ball of pin cushion, 8 pence. The notice read, "A book and toy." Why hadn't anyone else thought of that? Then John set his bright book in the window of his store, and he wondered, will the parents buy them? Are they too cheerful? So he was concerned. My books are too happy. They're talking about happy things. Will the parents buy these books? So he was wondering, will the parents buy these books, yes or no? Let's see what happened if the parents did buy the books. Let's see if they did buy the books.
Too happy. No, they won't buy the books.
The children gobbled them up like plum cakes. All the children were buying the books. They were all being purchased. Okay, nothing was left on the shelf. Okay, he was having it was sold out. John thought if they liked fun, attractive book, they'd probably like a magazine too. Grown-ups read magazine. Why shouldn't children? A magazine with rhymes, riddles, recipes, and stories. Ooh, adorned with crisps and copper plate engravings. Yes, that's what I'll do. Working in the back of his bookshop or chatting with his chums in the tavern, John minded bubbles with more ideas. He was just thinking of things. While people were talking to him, John, what about that toy we saw yesterday? He was thinking about storybooks for children. Yeah, what? Okay. Storybooks for children about teddy bear. Ooh, what? His mind was somewhere else. He was thinking about writing fun books for children. Yeah, that's how people who love what they do. If you do something and you love what you're doing, that's all that's on your mind most of the time. If you love playing sport and somebody said, "Hey, what about, do you want to go to that game for tomorrow?" You're gonna be like, yeah. What? Because that's all you're thinking about, and because that's all you love that. Okay. John over here, he just wanted to look at him, just writing, just thinking about picture books the whole time. He's thinking about books about children, books for children to read. Oh, that's all he was thinking about. Oh, yeah, I'm coming. Then John came up. Go back to your spot. John came up with his most ingenious product for youngsters yet. A novel. Grown-ups were reading novels. Why shouldn't the little monsters and not monsters, sorry, not monsters.
Little children.
Sorry, children. Why shouldn't the little masters and ladies, yes, one long, luscious story to savor for several days? So he decided to start writing novels.
What novel?
What is a novel?
I don't know.
What's a novel?
A storybook with pictures and...
Is it a long storybook or a short one? Yeah. So he thought of that. He said, maybe I should start writing storybooks, like longer ones, where you can sit with it for days and you're just reading and reading. And your mom says, it's time for dinner, and you're reading. It's time for breakfast, and you're reading. It's time for lunch, and you're reading. And it's time for dinner again. What? And like 2 days have passed, and I have not eaten because I was reading this book the whole time.
Let's get back to it.
So that's why he started doing that.
Sleeping time.
Yep. Some people do that. They read so much that they are so engaged in reading that they forget, they lost track of time. They don't realize it's breakfast. They don't realize it's lunch. They just lost track of time. If any of you guys find a novel or just a regular book that you love. Trust me, you'll be just like that.
I novel in one day.
You do? Your mom did tell me that. See, that's because you're engaging. You don't want to do nothing else. Mom said, Zach, go get baby Nyla's diaper. She pooped in it. All you heard was, Nyla, in it. What did you say, Mom? Go get baby Nyla's diaper. She pooped. What? You didn't get what she said because you're so engaged in your book. Well, that's what this guy decided to do. Anywho, he started writing those type of stories for children. He started writing novels. That's why he has to go back to his spot. The History of Little Goody Two Shoes. He wrote that book. It's about a raggedy orphan who is left to wander the roads. Then he started writing stories for children so children can pay attention to their surroundings. And then he started writing stories for children to be aware of other children who are not as fortunate as you are. Not because you have a bike and you have a scooter and you have a car. That means everybody else is like you. Let's wait for everybody to get back to the center. Let's get back. Let's wait for Zach to get out of the cover. We're waiting. So, he started writing books for everyone to be mindful of others around us who might not have the same thing or as much as we do. And then he wrote what? The History of Little Goody Two Shoes. Despite many misfortune, the girl betters herself. She carves her own alphabet blocks and teaches poor children. Wow, I would love to read that book. Yes. She trolls around with a dog, a lamb, and various birds that she has rescued and educated. Ralph, her pet raven, even writes poems. Okay, we have to pause.
They do have a family, but they just don't know who they are. Or it's not like that.
Orphans may sometimes know who their family are, and sometimes they may not. They don't know who their family are. But yeah, they don't live with them. They live with someone else, or they live in a foster home with other family with other children from other families who don't know their family as well.
Their family just died before they
Go.
Or their family just died.
Sit there. Yeah, sometimes the family have passed away. No, right there. Yes. Sometimes the parents family members have passed away who they live with, and it's just them. Okay, but that was a story about her. Anywho.
And she went out to explore the streets. And she
Right
went
here.
out to explore.
That's right. Though the stars of penniless, Goody ends up marrying a country square rich enough to own a couch and six. So the story ends up where she finally got married to someone who was able to provide for her and himself. A couch or coach and six. In those days, that was like riding in a luxury car. Goody went from rags to riches without a fairy godmother. She did it through study, hard work, and kindness. You can too. The book was saved, and John believed it. So you see, this book that he wrote here was teaching you that you can get whatever you need in life if you only work towards it. If you want to be rich, then you start working towards being rich, you will be rich, inshallah. Okay? Anything you work towards in life and you make dua for that and you live your life healthy, you're going to get it. So, we're going to continue later on with Goody Two Shoes. Goody Two Shoes became a smash hit, both in England and across the ocean in America. So, inshallah, if you guys go to the library and you want to hear the story about Goody Two Shoes, you can ask the librarian to get that book for you. If not, you can choose something else that was written by Mr. Balderdash. Okay.